Jay, in your latest book, Business Corner, you've talked about the fact that we can learn from the people who have um, started in business and won, as well as the people who started a business and lost. What are some of the things that you can learn from a failed business venture?
That's a good question. It was so funny. Somebody said that to me last night that you're not supposed to say that when somebody asks you a question. That's a good question. I'm like, it's a good question. But no, you can learn a lot, man. The number one obvious thing is how not to do what people don't understand how important it is to know what not to do. We're always trying to look at what to do, right? All the things to do. And the reason why that seems cute and all that, but you got to realize is that what work for somebody else is probably not going to work for you. You know what I mean? It's different ways to success. You have to do certain things, as I always say, is a bottleneck as far as you have to go through the same process, but everybody's process looks different, feels different, the experience is different. So you have to figure out what's best for you. But crashing and burning is crashing and burning. You know what I'm saying? And so, you flying a plane, certain things you just don't want to do. Now, landing the plane, we've been on planes before. They don't all land the same. But landing the plane safely, we'll all take it. Everybody on that plane will take it. But nobody would want to take the plane crashing. So I think it's more important to know how to not crash the damn plane than it is to know how to land the plane. So we got to focus on what's wrong about business. What's wrong? What's the wrong things to do in business? People nowadays think everything is right. Just get out here and figure it out. Like, no, it is ways to do this thing wrong, so that, and there's ways to do it right so that you can actually win. We think of the lottery ticket place. A lot of time, the lottery ticket people, for me, if you're a believer, you think, hey, that's a God thing. But all God is not in part of every business. Some businesses just did what they were supposed to do. They knew what they wasn't supposed to do, and they put together a plan and executed it. We're humans and we got enough talent and skills to do that. But again, failure is probably the greatest teacher of anything, but definitely in business because it's so many people that crash and burn. So it's a whole lot more people that fail in business than it is people that succeed. So there's a lot more lessons there. And another thing in business, a lot of people that win are not telling you how they won. But you can figure out a lot from the people who fail want to talk about that. We don't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Some people that fail want to help you. We don't want to talk to them. We only talk to the people, that's the small amount of people who are willing to talk to you about their wins and tell you how they did it. That number is very small, like 2% maybe. And I'm probably being generous to that, who want to tell you about it. And definitely the number goes down when people will tell you how they did it. But people who fail would tell you everything, because sometimes they fell, they were right there, but they didn't have this thing. And so you say, you know what, I get there, I'm going to have that. They were right there, they didn't have this person. They were right there, they were using drugs, and it stopped them. It's always something that it could have had them right there. Because I don't consider a failed business a business that didn't have a chance to start with. I consider a failed business a business that actually had a chance. It actually was on the move. It was actually doing some things. And then something happened that crashed and burned. Those are the people I want to talk to. Not the people who never had a chance to start with. Like, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have anything. They're just doing something. I don't consider those failed businesses. So if you talk to those people who were who seemed like they were knocking out the park, was on the move, those are the ones that I want to have a discussion with. I want to have a discussion with Blockbuster. I want to have a discussion with Kodak.